In this video, Denis Iplenkov's health updates. He got the x-rays done, now he's waiting for the reports to see the doctors. Ermes Gasparini's comments about Devon, LEVAN Saginashvili, Denis Iplenkov and much more. And finally, we hear a lot about neutral position on the table in arm wrestling. But what really is a neutral position? What does a master referee have to say about that? So let's start. We all know that Denis is suffering from some shoulder and hip issues and he's trying to get them treated. He got some x-rays done. Looks like from the previous videos that his shoulder issues are almost resolved, or at least they are not that serious that they can affect his performance on the table, at least not on the right arm because the issue is on the left. But his hip issues are really serious. He was even talking about a hip replacement surgery in the previous videos. I hope it doesn't come to that. But in the past, I and many others were saying that Denis can probably benefit a lot from some heavy lifting like he used to do back in the day. But maybe this is the reason that he couldn't lift heavy and he focuses mostly on table training. This hip issue has been bothering him a lot. And naturally, he is going to follow whatever the doctor tells him to, even if it is a total hip replacement. If that is the case, then Denis is going to be out for good for a long time. And let's just hope for one final time that when they talked about that hip replacement possibility, it was just some translation error and the problem isn't that serious. They talked about the Valera versus Lars Rohrbachen match. Denis was saying that experience means a lot. So he was not really confident in his training partner's chances of beating Lars at King of the Table 9. But he said that he will be rooting for him. On the other hand, Sergey Tokarev thinks that Valera is going to have an easy day at King of the Table 9. And if you don't know who Sergey is, he did list his accomplishments after being asked by Babkin. So he's a world champion and 6 times European champion. He has defeated Richard Lupkes 5-1 in a super match. Unfortunately, lost to Monster Michael Todd 6-0 as we all remember. But he has wins in a tournament format over Tim Bresnan and John Brezink. That's simply insane. And now it seems to me from the title that he's going to be a permanent training partner with Denis Iplenkov, and potentially we are going to see this guy as well on the arm wrestling table soon. Ermes Gasparini got really confident after he was able to pin Vitaly Laletin in that practice pull in Dubai more than 2 years ago. This is what he had to say about that practice pull. For this fight in Dubai, I started to think I have the genetic possibility to go on the top. He said that about 4 or 5 days ago, before that fight, he got to know that Vitaly is coming to Dubai. So he didn't train his right arm at all. He did all the work with his left. He only warmed up with Larry Wheels on the right arm. Well, there are not many people in this world who can say that Larry Wheels is just a warm-up for them. While discussing the upcoming Vitaly match, he said there are only 3 possibilities in that match. Number 1, which is the most likely scenario, is that Ermes goes straight through Vitaly's pronation with his back pressure and his own pronation. That's how he's going to win that match. Number 2, they stay in a pronated position and maybe both lose their wrist, just like their practice pull a couple of years ago, and still Ermes will win. Number 3, Vitaly is able to take his wrist, but still Ermes holds him up with the flop press and still beats him. Then he said, if I'm able to hold Devon in a flop press, why couldn't I hold Vitaly? Which makes sense, but that didn't work against Devon. But Vitaly is not as versatile as Devon Larratt. There was a brief moment when Ermes started talking about the Devon match, and he did say that the setup part is the most important thing if you want to beat Devon. And he wants that match to be kind of more fair, and the referees should be more strict and more fair. And the comment section did not like that. It was good that Ermes didn't talk about this topic for too long because he needs to stay away from this. Anything that he says now about that match is going to be taken as an excuse, and I know that Ermes is not a person who likes to make excuses. I was in support of him when he talked about the loss against Matt Mask as well, and I am in support of him right now. He has the potential to avenge this loss as well. Maybe it will take 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, who knows. But he will get there. Then Coach Ray discussed a potential match between Denis and Ermes. Ermes suddenly got really excited. He said that many fans, from the comment section he knows that many fans wants to see this match. I think I can win. Not easy, but if I can go in my position, very difficult to beat me. I think I never lost if I can take someone's wrist. And this is a big possibility. Even Devon said that Ermes can beat Dennis even easier than Devon himself did. So that says a lot because Devon recently beat both of them. About Ermes Gasparini's top 5, he said in no particular order: Devon, Ermes himself, Vitaly Laletin, Georgy Svetkov, and Artem Morozov. Dennis couldn't be ranked because he has not beaten anyone significant. And then he talked about the return of Levan Saginashvili and also Gennady Quickvinia. Ermes wants Levan, or he at least advised Levan to take one more super match before facing Devon, or else it could end badly for him, because when you're coming back after an injury and after such a long time, you are not really used to of applying that much pressure. And the same thing goes for Gennady Quickvinia. He said if Gennady has a return match directly against Devon, he's going to lose for sure. These statements do make sense, but there is a small possibility that still Levan is just way too strong and he doesn't care about that. So we all started talking about the neutral position on the arm wrestling table after that shoulder below the table rule changed few years ago. Before that, you could go as low as you can and it wouldn't matter where your arm position is. But since the rule changed, in a neutral or losing position, you cannot dip your shoulder below the table. So what really is a neutral position? According to Engin Terzi, Leonard Harkless is probably one of the most experienced referees in the world. He's the most knowledgeable and the expert at his thing. And someone asked him what really is a neutral position. So according to him, these blue lines constitute of a neutral position. I was shocked to see that because according to me, if you asked me, I would have said these yellow lines. And how do you even know if the arm is between these blue lines or not? It's kind of confusing. But anyways, did you know about this fact? Please mention in the comments, like the video and subscribe.